Live. It took me a little bit longer to get going today, but we finally have it figured out. So good morning, everyone. Happy Monday morning. If you're listening in on the broadcast, the live broadcast, then let me know you're here. I would be interested in learning that. All right, so let's just make sure that this is off to the races, that this is going where it needs to go. All right, one quick second. Here we go. All right, so there's a little bit of a delay, but we can work through that. All right, so happy Monday morning to everyone. If you are joining us live, let me know in the comments section. Also, if you have any questions as you're coming in, then the chat is absolutely open. I am doing a I should be able to see chats right now. Let's see. Let's see if they get pushed through to my screen. They do. So as you comment, I'll be able to see it on my screen. As you know, I've done a little bit of switching around when it comes to the setup, but I'll do a more in-depth review on how this is actually all set up, so you can get a first-hand look at how we are going live. All right, so today we're talking about seller leads. I'm not going to spend too much time in the pleasantries. Just know that as you're coming in, a like goes a long way. As you're coming in, also, if you have any questions that have to do with marketing or really anything in general, then let me know in the comment section down below. I'll make sure that you're that I see what's going on. So I have the chat. I have Facebook and I have Facebook. All right, so Facebook and YouTube, so commenters there. All right, so awesome. We're going to talk about seller leads on Facebook, but more specifically, we're going to learn how to get some seller leads using Facebook ads. You've been asking for this topic for quite a while now, and I just needed to make sure that I followed through. I wanted to make sure that I made this video for you because you've seen quite a few videos on how to get buyer leads, where there's a ton of them in this very channel. And I have made some seller leads, some seller videos in the past, but today was a great day to actually bring this topic back up because, as you know, the market is leading us to create inventory. Right now there's multiple offers. It's a seller's market, so we need to make sure that we know how to create a business for ourselves. So that is so that's a very important topic. So welcome. Yo, Jaime. Sunny here. Hey, Sunny, thank you. Hey, Jaime, does this get reposted as a video? So Clark, that's a great question. This will be posted as soon as we get through. It's going to be posted live. That's something that you can look forward to. If you're not able to hang out with us in this very moment, then that's completely okay. I understand how Mondays work. With that being said, before we go to the screen share, because you're going to see exactly how to create the campaign and you're going to see the exact ad copy to generate some seller leads, I wanted to wanted to talk on two topics just very, very quickly, because if you miss these two fundamental items, then you're going to miss the entire ad copy. You're going to miss the entire campaign, and it's not going to be as successful for you and not replicatable in your business. So what do I mean by that? I mean that the very first thing that you need to take into consideration, whether you're running seller ads, buyer ads, investor ads, whatever you happen to be marketing, you need to create a compelling offer. You need to create a offer that is deemed valuable by your clients, by your customers. So what that means is you can't simply just say, hey, I'm Jaime Resendiz, I'm a real estate agent, contact me for your next real estate needs. That is not compelling. That is not valuable. Everybody knows my name. Well, I mean, the people, they'll know my name as soon as I say it. There's a lot of real estate agents out there. So there's over 1.4 million licenses out there for real estate agents in the United States alone. So you know that there's a large market out of a lot of a competition out there. So everybody knows a realtor, whether you know it or not. Everybody does. So you don't necessarily have a leg up in that regard. So you need to separate yourself out. And again, it all comes back from the creating a compelling offer. That's absolutely number one. And you're going to see me do that with the ad copy that we go through today. So at the fundamental core, this is the difference between getting leads and not getting leads. If you're not creating an offer, if you're simply going out there and running low promotion saying, hey, I'm Jaime, use me for your next real estate transaction, that's a good way to not get leads. So there's that. Now, the second thing we need to consider is, how you're going to deliver your ad and how you're going to deliver your offer. So what this means is if you're going to use Facebook ads, which in this video we absolutely are, we're going to run a Facebook ad, we need to consider how we're going to actually deliver the offer. So if we're offering a cheat sheet, if we're offering a list of homes, if we're offering X, Y, and Z, then we need to take into account what digital assets do I need to create? Do I need to create an image? Do I need to create a landing page? Do I want to keep the audience on Facebook? So that means if I'm going to keep the audience on Facebook, I need to either run a lead generation campaign, I need to run a messages campaign, which is basically sending people to the direct messenger, so the Facebook Messenger. You need to take that into consideration before you go out and create the campaign, because it's going to provide clarity for you. And this is really what prompted me to even address these 2 points at the very beginning, because I get questions quite a bit from you, the viewers. So thank you so much. I really appreciate the engagement. I really appreciate you being here, but I get questions about the ad copy. Okay, thanks for the ad copy. Now what? Well, I mean, you went through the entire, I showed you the exact ad copy. I showed you the exact way to run the ad, but help me out here. So whenever they say, now what, their question is, do I need to create a landing page? Their question is, how do I follow up? Their question is beyond that. So there's not necessarily a connection made from this is the ad, and this is how you go about setting it up, and this is how you go about following up. So it's that before and after that gets us in trouble. So we need to have a game plan for that. And more specifically, whenever you see the campaign that we're going to run today, which is going to be a lead generation campaign, you need to have that in mind, especially with the seller lead, because of what we're offering. And it's going to make more sense as you see the ad copy. So I just wanted to call that into existence at the moment, because I get a bit of confusion on, what happens before, what happens after. You need to have that clarity right from the beginning before you actually launch a campaign, because that's actually going to lead to success at the end of the day. All right, with that being said, let's get right into it. So as you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. Both types of comments are coming in, Facebook and on YouTube. If you're interested in joining live every single Monday at 9 a.m. Central, then you're more than welcome to. Let's begin. All right, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of screen share. So you should be seeing my screen, and you should see me at the bottom somewhere. Now, again, as you come in, a like is going to go a long way. What we're going to do today is we're going to create a lead generation campaign that has to do with generating seller leads. Now, there's going to be some parts where I accelerate. There's going to be parts where I pull back, and we really elaborate on that. So make sure that you're capturing everything. And if something's a little bit askew, then let me know so we can get this figured out. All right, so we're going to go to create. And right off the bat, we're going to select between one of 11 campaign objectives. So these are campaign objectives, is basically a different goal in mind that you're telling Facebook. Based off of what you tell Facebook right here, it's going to give you some templates to work with. So I'll just give you some quick examples of what that means if you're new to Facebook ads. If you're not, then this makes a little bit this may be a little bit of a reteaching, so that's okay as well. Traffic campaign is the most versatile type of campaign that you can run. You can send people directly to your YouTube channel if you want. You can send people to your website, to your landing page, to really basically any website out there, as long as it's not blocked and it's not illegal or anything like that. You can send people to anywhere that you want on the internet for all intensive purposes. So that's the traffic campaign. That's the most versatile one, and that's the most common one. Now, engagement campaign is running a ad on a post that you have on your business page. So you can make that post public so people that follow you on your business page can see it, or you can make it a phantom post or a dark post that is not actually on the business page and you're running traffic to it. Now, that's those are two. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'll just give you the other two that that you can consider if you don't have a landing page, if you don't really have a strong landing page or a website that you don't feel very comfortable with that's going to convert the traffic for you, then you need to look at lead generation and messages campaign. So lead generation campaign is actually the one that we're going to launch today, and it's very successful with what it does. And so I'm not going to elaborate too much on that one because we're actually going to see it. But messages, this is where you're sending your entire traffic. So whoever sees your ad and clicks learn more, they automatically start a DM with you. So a direct message or a messenger. Sometimes it's called a messages ad or a messenger ad. This is basically connecting your Facebook Messenger with theirs and having that communication. So at no point did you ask for the email. At no point did you ask for the phone number before that connection was made. Now, both of these have their time and place, and I do have a video, about the messages campaign and how to run that. But if you're interested in seeing that, then let me know in the comments section. If you want, maybe not next week, because I already have something booked for next week, but the week after that, possibly. If you want to see a messages campaign on our Monday live streams, I will absolutely be happy to accommodate, so just let me know. But for our purposes today, let's get going with the lead generation campaign. I wanted to pause there for a quick second because of the point that I was just making of having that clarity, choosing how you're going to deliver your offer, because that's super important, especially with the seller campaign. So how I like to call or label my campaigns is lead, which is calling out the type of campaign. And then at the campaign level, so this is the campaign level where I choose the objective, choose the goal, I like to put the type of ad that I'm running. So seller ad. I'll just put seller. I don't need to put ad. All right, so that is at the campaign level. And then at the ad set level, I like to go a little bit more molecular, because I know that at the ad set level, I'm going to have, I'm going to choose an interest. So I already know kind of where I'm going. So I'm going to go lead, Zillow, and seller. So this is the type of campaign. This is the ad set, which is basically the interest, who I'm targeting, and then seller. Now, your naming convention could look exactly the same, or it could look completely different. It's up to you. And all I have to do is put lead, Zillow, seller, again right here, because I'm not going to split test the ad campaign. So just as a quick recap, if I was doing the campaign, I would just do the type of campaign, and I would do the type of ad that I'm running. And then at the ad set, the reason I put Zillow here is because if I put Zillow here, I'm saying that the entire campaign is based off of the Zillow interest, and that's not what I'm going to do. So if I was, then I could put it up there, but I'm not. So I could change this up to Trulia. I could change this up to homes.com. I could change this to whatever. And in the event that I am actually going to be split testing my ad, so again, this goes back to the ad, I would put seller A, and then I would put seller A. So I know, regardless of where I am on the campaign level, on the ad set, or on the ad, I know how to read reports. This is how I'm able to manage a lot of campaigns every single morning. This is how I'm able to manage all of the campaigns, and as soon as they're hitting my metrics, boom, I'm off to the next task. So I don't need somebody else really analyzing the numbers for me. I do have those people, but I don't need them in that regard. So I would much rather them have a more focus on the customer engagement and all that fun stuff. So anyway, we're getting down a rabbit hole, and I apologize for leading us there. Let's get going. All right, so campaign level, we have to call out that it's in the special ad category. So we're going to go with housing. As a reminder, credit, employment, housing, and social issues, elections, or politics, you have to spell this out that you are running an ad within this category. And what this ultimately does is it limits the amount of targeting from the backside. So from the ad set level right here, you're not able to select certain filters. You can't select between male or female. You can't select based off of age. You can't select based off of demographics or behaviors. And you can't select anything tighter than a 15-mile radius. So those are some limitations from the outset, but something very important with the ad category that a lot of people miss, simply because the ad category is in place does not mean that the end user, the person that you ultimately want to reach, has gone away. Let me repeat that. Simply because the special ad category was introduced does not mean that your end consumer has gone away. It just means that you're not able to target them as direct as possible. But that's okay. That's why we're split testing. That's why we do retargeting. And that's why you're following this channel, is to see those exact strategies on how that is done. So as a reminder, as you're coming in, a huge like would go a long way. That way, the notifications go out to the subscribers. Notification goes out to the people that may find value in our time together. All right, so let's keep going. We're going to go with campaign budget optimization. So this is where we select how much we want to spend for the particular campaign. This is something that is up to you. You can optimize from the budget level, from the campaign level, which basically means it doesn't matter how many ads you split test or how many ad sets you split test. this is your budget for the entire campaign. So you could have a seller campaign and you allocate $100 as an example, $100, right? Well, that's 200. $100, that is 1,000. All right, let's, and as you can see right there, so on my testing account is, it's not used to me being a big baller. That's funny. The, so that's what you can do with the budget, and it's going to allocate based off of what Facebook deems to be the, is going to be the best performer out there. So you can do it that way, or you can turn it off, and I'll show you the manual way so you can see it. And this is actually my preferred way of doing the manual adjustments because I don't like optimizing from the campaign level. And I'll show you why. So notice that we turned that off, and we're now at the ad set level, which is our targeting. And now we're being asked the budget question again. And you're thinking, well, what in the world? The reason being is because now we have a little bit more control over our spend. Now we have a little bit more control over what we can do. And this is pretty good. This is really good for what we need. So if I wanted to split test, let's just say 3 different ad sets, so 3 different target groups, so 3 of these. So if I wanted to go Zillow, Trulia, and Realtor.com as my target, then all I would have to do was make that adjustment from right there. So give me one quick second. Need to make sure that the camera was turned on. All right, so that is that's a little bit about that. Now the Facebook page, you're gonna select the page that you want to advertise from. You can create a Facebook page from here if you absolutely wanted to. If you don't have a business page, it's that easy to create. The very first time that you run a lead generation campaign, you do have to select and confirm that you're okay with Facebook lead ads terms of service. So the terms that Facebook gives you, they're basically saying that you're going to be responsible with your data. Now, I am not a legal scholar or an accountant or anything of that nature. I don't want to tell you what it actually says because I'm just paraphrasing. So be sure that you read that the very first time and continue reading it. They'll sometimes change it up, so it's good to understand kind of what you're signing off on. And then kind of working my way backwards to the lead method. This is something that is relatively new. And I say relatively new, we're talking about several weeks old, where how do you want to connect with people? Notice now that we have instant forms, which is a route that we're going to go, but we also have the ability to have people call us directly. For our type of lead that we're generating today, this is not the type of campaign that we want to run, but check this out. In the whenever this first was introduced, it was introduced in the traffic campaign, the ability to have people call you directly. But now it's here in the lead generation campaign. So that is something that is happening, which is really cool. All right. So with that being said, dynamic creative, we're not going to worry about. It's a neat feature that you can check out on your own. This is where we call back the custom audiences. So if you uploaded your database to Facebook, which I highly suggest that you do, this is where you would call that back out. You just click on there and you find the custom audience that you created. If you created a special ad audience, which is looking at the custom audience that you have, and it goes out and looks for similar profiles, then that's where you would call it back out as well. So this is where you go to get your retargeting audiences at the end of the day. So putting a little bit of a summary there. So as you're coming in, let me know if you have any questions. I will address them as soon as we get through the targeting side. So feel free, if you're over on Facebook, if you're over on YouTube, then make sure that you're dropping in the questions because I want to get to all of them in a reasonable amount of time. So locations, we're going to go with people living in this location. Now, there's a lot of you that are doing relocation ads, and that's phenomenal. That's great. So this right here, living in or recently in this location, that is a-okay. If you're doing relocation, so if you're looking for California to Texas as an example, then this is a targeting that you would want to use. If you're targeting the destination, if you're saying California to San Antonio, and you want to advertise in San Antonio and also reach the people that are in California, then you're going to leave this on, people living in or recently in this location. And then you're also going to put people traveling in this location and this one as well. The last one that you're going to use is basically this one, living in this location, because it's just this just concentrates it on the area that you actually want to target. So that is, again, for relocation. Where if you're not doing relocation, then you're back on track. You want to put people living in this location. So in this example, let's just go with San Antonio since we already spoke about it. So we're going to select San Antonio. As you can see here, the 15-mile radius, that's the minimum that we can go. In the past, you could start off with 10 and then go down to a mile and even exclude some other areas. So in the past, you were able to do that, but now since you're running ads in the special ad category, this is what it comes down to, and that's okay. The opportunity has not gone away. You're still able to generate seller leads, and we're able to do that consistently. So just because it's just because the special ad audience has gone away doesn't mean that the client has gone away. So it's very important for us to remember. When it comes to the age, we can't do anything with age. We can't do anything with gender, but we can do something with detailed targeting. Now, although we're not able to select based off of demographics, so as an example, if they're a parent and have kids of X, Y, and Z ages, you're not able to select that, but you are able to select based off of interest. So if somebody has shown interest in Zillows of the world, Trulias of the world, mortgage refinancing, let's see what else, luxury real estate, that type of interest, you're able to call that out. So I kind of tipped my hand before we began by putting in Zillow, and this is what I'm talking about. This is where I selected Zillow. It takes a little bit to get started here, but it will ultimately get us right there. All right, so one item that's going to come up a lot of the times, especially when we talk about placements, which we're about to get to, is the ad set may get 0 leads. Don't worry about that. This ad is tried, true, it's going to work. This type of campaign is being run in all markets. So this is just something that is encouraging you to spend a little bit more money, is encouraging you to get a little bit wider so you can spend a little bit more money with Facebook. So don't worry about that. That's not going to be a thing. Now, let's see, what were we going to say about Zillow? We were going to say something about Zillow. Were we not? Budget, lead. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. The Zillow interest, the only reason that I even just put Zillow up there is because I know where I'm targeting, as an example. So if I'm going to target in a certain area, I know where my clients are marketing, so I know the area that I need to market. So whether these are clients that work with me through my agency, so I know where they market. So for me, I don't need to put the city or the address or anything. Also, for the agents that I work with from a partnership level at eXp Realty, so the agents that join me at eXp Realty, and where I and my agency do their lead generation for free, then I know where they're marketing already, so I don't need to clutter this up. For me, it's about speed. It's about making sure that everything is in order, and off to the races, on to the next thing. So that's why I only put Zillow there, because that's going to be the only thing that I change in certain markets. Now, if I'm doing something a little bit different, if I'm changing up the placements, if I'm changing up the I guess geographically, if I'm changing that up, if I'm doing anything else, then of course I'm going to be a little bit more specific. But for me, I just go through these very, very quickly. All right, so manual placements. This is what I do when I go to a cold audience. So whenever I'm marketing in a brand new audience, let's just say, or a market, let's just say I'm going to market in Augusta, Georgia for whatever reason, then I am going to only go to manual placements and focus on the Facebook newsfeed to begin with. So just going to go here and unhighlight all of these right here. All right, so I'm just gonna go with the Facebook newsfeed because that's gonna be shown to the most amount of people. And it's typically right here where this little notification comes up. So I'm surprised that it actually came up before, but before I even got to the placements, but that's what ends up happening. So I highly suggest that you start out with this newsfeed and then start split testing from there. So let's just say you want to run this campaign, but aren't sure if it's going to work better on Facebook, aren't sure if it's going to work better on Instagram. Then split test the placements. This is something that you split test. The interest is something that you split test. The geography is something else that you can split test. So you can divide this up into quadrants and hit the left side, the north, what is that? Northwest. side of San Antonio and then hit the northeast side of San Antonio, then south, you get the point. So that's how you're able to split test. And then if I was doing something like that, then I would adjust my naming convention. All right, so we're going to keep going. And, well, one last thing on this, automatic placements. The reason I don't go there, there's only two reasons that I would go to automatic placements. One, if the audience is not large enough here. So if this was 10,000 people, I would go with automatic placements because I'm okay at that point spending the money everywhere else. There's just not enough traffic for me. So that's one. Two, the other reason that I would go with automatic placements is if I'm retargeting. When I'm retargeting, it's a different game. When I'm retargeting, I want to be seen everywhere except just the newsfeed. So it's more about branding in the other placements than actual conversion. So that's why I do that. So let me know if that makes sense. All right, so we're going to take a quick pause for a quick second, and let's see what questions we have. So drop them in as we're at a good pause point before we get to the ad copy. Does this video get reposted? Absolutely, it does. Chris Allen, wow, awesome. Thanks, my friend. Sunny, I would like to see the messages campaign, please. Thank you in advance. Absolutely. Travis, thanks for everything. You're welcome, Travis. I appreciate that. Appreciate you being here. Why can you select all three instead of single campaign? What would it be the difference? Why can you select all three instead of the single campaign? What would be the difference? I don't understand the question, Elegant Recycling. So can you help me out with that? Why can you see all three instead of single campaign? Are you referring to this when I went to the campaign and I selected the naming? Was that about right? Sorry. I wish I could be a help there. All right, we have a Facebook user. Sorry, it doesn't give me the actual username, but good morning from the villages in Florida. Ella Jones. What do you consider enough traffic or large enough audience? So what do you consider enough traffic or large enough audience? That's a great question depending on where I am and what I'm trying to do. But for all intensive purposes, anything above 40,000 in estimated reach, potential reach. By the way, potential reach, it's not an exact number. It's very finicky. So I just consider 40,000 people enough because generally, I can just give you some additional. This may be way too technical, but the reason I go with 40,000 is because I know the frequency that I come back and check on the campaigns for myself, my clients, and for the agents that I work with from EXP side. So I know that 40,000 is a good number. So I'm checking campaigns very regularly, and depending on the campaign, it'll let me know how often I need to cycle out different either ad sets or ads, and also lets me know when to cycle something else because of the budget that I'm doing. Very convoluted answer. Actually didn't even come out like I wanted to, but basically I take into account what I'm doing. I take into account the budget that I have. I take into account how long it would take for the ad or the ad set that I'm split testing to cycle out, and 40,000 seems to be the number. How do you target the 55 plus communities? I wouldn't target them geographic based. I would target them based off of interest based. So if you know that, you have to generalize here a little bit. If you understand that 55 plus communities, there's a certain interest that they have, then you're going to seek out those interests. Because remember, you have a 15-mile radius and beyond. Remember, you can't target based off of demographics. So you can't call out the age, you can't call out the gender, you can't call out if they have adult children or not. So that is something that to keep into consideration. Will you post this to your YouTube? Yes, Travis, absolutely. Can you do a Facebook Marketplace webinar? Travis, I actually have that webinar already in place. I think we did that several weeks ago, so you might want to check that out. If I remember to come back here, I'll put it up here in the card, but if nothing came up here in the card, then I forgot. So Travis, I highly encourage you to go check out that webinar because I actually have several videos on that and the updated one as well. Where on Facebook are you posting this? I would like to follow you over there too. So Clark, that's a great question. So online lead generation, let me see if we can I don't know how to get to that. Anyway, so online lead generation strategies for real estate. I'll link it. It's linked down below, and you'll see it in the comment section on where that's at. So that's where I go live. No, that's good. I always wondered how big the audience should be. So our Facebook user, I need to see what how to bring in the names. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. Do you do any cold emailing? No, I do not, Travis. That's a great question. I don't do cold emailing anymore because I haven't needed to. Also, there's just a lot of stuff that I don't want to mess with when it comes to cold emailing. One of them has to do with the domain. I'm not interested in creating 50 different emails because they're going to systematically be shut down. So that's one thing. And then two, to do that at scale, you would need an automated email server. So if you're looking for a email autoresponder, why did I say server? If you're looking for an email autoresponder, and I suggest that you use Aweber, that is linked down below, so you can get the free version, which is access to everything. The only time that you get charged on Aweber is if you have over 500 contacts that you're emailing. So I don't do cold emailing any longer because I'm able to generate leads on the cheap, and then I'm able to email them directly. So there's a lot more success that way. All right, so that's a great question. That's a great question. That's something that a lot of folks are doing, though. All right, so let's keep going. So as you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. We'll make sure that we get to them. Now we are going to the ad level. So just remember that up here, this is our campaign. This is the campaign that we have. So we selected the lead generation campaign there. And then here, this is our ad set, which is basically our targeting, where we want to target, who we want to target, and what place on Facebook we want to target. So those are the three things that you select with targeting. So as a reminder, where you want to target, who you want to target, and then where you want to place your ads on Facebook or on Instagram or on preferred partners. And now we get to the ad section. This is what's actually going to be shown to the end consumer. This is actually going to be shown to the people that see your ad. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create an ad, and you can do a single image or video or carousel. With seller leads, specific this one that I'm sending you right now, I'm going to give you several different playbooks, but ultimately we're going to execute on one. With the single image, that's the one that we're going to do today. So we're just going to include one image with the ad copy that I'm going to share with you in 2 seconds. That's one strategy, so I'm not going to elaborate on that because you're going to see it. The second strategy is the video strategy. So the video strategy is super powerful if you already have clients that are willing to be on the internet and be a testimonial for you. So just a quick little recap on that, or a little bit word of advice on that. If you're going to use a testimonial video, make sure, and I mean make sure, that you get written permission. I'm going to repeat that again, written permission from your testimonial that they're okay with you running this ad. I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want you to, I'm very conservative when it comes to the campaigns that we run. I run, to this day, no ads have been flagged in the sense of, hey, these are completely inappropriate, blah, 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 and we're going to absolutely crush you. None of those have happened with the agents that I work with, so I'm very conservative with the campaigns that I run. But for you, if you're going to do a testimonial video, make sure that you get written permission from the person that's doing the testimony for you. You just don't want any misunderstandings later on. So I'll just leave it at that. But if I was going to do this following ad, I would do a video testimonial where I just have somebody do the testimonial, ideally your client, obviously, you're not paying for a testimonial. So have your client do a testimonial reinforcing the bullet points that you're sharing right here. So I'll show you that here in a little bit. So now, and I know some of you are a little bit hesitant to do video because you don't want to be on camera, whatever the case may be. It's super, super simple. All you have to do is get your cell phone and then give the talking points to your client. Have them talk to you as if they were talking to you. Hey, just talk to me. Just talk to me. Hey, what happened with your home as soon as we put it on the market? Well, Jaime, as soon as we put it on the market, it generated five offers. Awesome. All right. Well, how many days from the day that we listed it to the day that I called you up, how many days in between that before we actually accepted an offer, and you have them answer that. So that's the easy way to do it. And once you have that video in place, you can go to a website like invideo.io. So I'll just go to the website right there, invideo.io. This is a software that I've been using for years, and it is linked down below. That's an affiliate link, just as a heads up. But it's the quickest way to make Facebook ad videos. It's the quickest way to make YouTube videos as well, where I have highly ranking videos from this platform. So if you want the affiliate and the discount down below, it'll be waiting for you. But anyway, that's the play with the video, and carousel would be multiple images. This type of campaign does lead itself to that type of what is this, format as well. But with all that being said, I will not make you wait any longer. When you're trying to get some seller leads, all you have to do is delete that part and go with this ad copy right here. And then we're going to talk through it just so you see how it activates a response. So city homeowner. So we're calling out the city that we want to be in. Very important if you're in a metropolitan area. If you're not, then, I mean, it's that 15-mile radius. Let's just say if you're in Lubbock, Texas, shout out Lubbock, Red Raider right here. And I grew up around Lubbock, so need to give them a shout out. And I'll give another shout out, Petersburg, Texas, home of the Buffaloes. That's where I graduated from. So you have the city right here, and you're calling out the particular city that you're wanting to advertise. So let's just say here, San Antonio homeowner. That's where we will replace this. Are you curious if now is the right time to sell? And then so we call out where we want this, where we want to elicit the response from, the type of person that we want to bring out onto the market to have a conversation with us, which is a homeowner. If it was a renter, if we were looking for buyers, then we'd put renter and switch this up a little bit. Are you curious if now is the right time to sell? So we're prompting, hey, we're priming you. This is kind of what this ad's about. You may have seen a fancy little image right here, which let's go ahead and change that because I didn't do that. We'll just do that. And on this one, you would use the image of the home that was sold. So that's very important. Again, this is on the single image. If you're doing the video, it's going to look a little bit different. So make sure that you check that out. Anyway, well, the owners of blank thought the same thing and sold. So here's the awesome, not the awesome. Here's a little notice. When I put address, I don't mean you put the specific address. Let me repeat that. Don't put the specific address. So just put something, let's just say if there's a very trendy area in the city that everybody knows about, regardless of where they live. So here in Dallas, everybody knows Bishop Arts. Everybody knows Deep Ellum. Everybody knows Highland Park, which is actually a city within Dallas. But everybody knows that. So in this case, I would put Bishop Arts. So the owners of a home in Bishop Arts. So I'm putting kind of like a neighborhood feel to that. But then here, if there's not such an area, if you're marketing a property that's in the burbs or something else that there's not really a qualifier, then I would put the street address, the street, sorry, not the actual address. So the street. And then just kind of be general enough, but targeted enough. Does that make sense? You're certainly not giving out the exact address, but you're giving out, hey, the owners on a big road, I-35 is an interstate, thought the same thing. And it's this that's going to move people. It's this right here. So I'm just kind of coaching you into how to craft that ad copy. So we're going to put a quick pause after we go through the ad copy. So make sure that you have any questions, drop them down below because I do need to make sure that we get to it. All right, so the 3 bullet points that you want absolutely on all of your ads, you can get away with 2 out of 3, but ideally you want 3, is right here. Percentage or percentage or amount above asking. So here what we're saying is if you put a house out for market, let's just say it was $500,000 home and you received $500 more. I wouldn't put $500. I would put the percentage. Well, even that, the percentage is a little bit low. But you need to find out which one's going to present a little bit better. Is it going to be a percentage based? So does 3% look much better than $2,000? You need to make that judgment. So let's just go with another example. Let's just say it was $250,000 home, because those right now are off the shelves everywhere. And you receive $10,000 above asking, which is very reasonable in this market. So just say $10,000 above asking. You're not saying how much asking was. People will guess. I mean, people will guess based off of the image, but you're not saying how much. In blank days. Here, it's very important that there's a impressive number of days. If you sold that home, it took you 365 days to do that, then shame on you. But in this price point, but also when it comes to the number of days, you're using the number of days before you got into contract. So there we're going to say in 2 days. So you put out into the market over the weekend, finals and best. In 2 days, you had X amount of offers and you went under contract in 2 days. Something impressive. That's the key here. Something impressive. If it took you 365 days, don't put 365 days. You don't want to do that. With blank offers to choose from. So anytime you receive, let's just say you receive 2 offers, then you're going to put multiple offers. Now, if you receive 3, 4, 5, anytime you get above the 5 mark, then you want to call out the exact number of offers. Or let's just say if I got 6 offers I would put over 5 offers to choose from. I could put 6 or I could put over 5. But by me saying over 5, it's open to the imagination. People's personalities will come up to bat. The cynical people are going to say over 5. Okay, that's 6. Why don't you just say 6? But the people that are not cynical, and sorry if that's you, because that's actually me. But the people that are not cynical, they're going to say, oh, maybe it was 7. Maybe it was 8. Could have been 20. Maybe not that much. But you see how you're framing things? As a marketer, as an advertiser, that's how we work, right? Anyway, so these are the 3 things that you want to look for with the home that was just sold. So that's very important. A home that has sold with some impressive numbers like this. You need 2 of the 3 items that you see on there. Ideally, you want all 3. But if you receive $10,000 above asking in 2 days and you only got 1 offer, then take off that offer. Put something else. So same thing. If you went $10,000 above asking and it took you 30 days to do that, which would be weird because then all of a sudden you get all the offers, unless you had a major price drop. But anyway, just mess around with that. Want to know if your home could achieve similar results? Get an instant estimate. Now, the link here, you can put a link if you have a landing page here. But for our purposes today, since we're doing a lead generation campaign, that actually goes away.